Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Grown Ups, the podcast. Hi, Ellie. How are you?
Hey girl, morning everyone. I'm all right, darling. Guys, it's a cheeky Saturday morning at 8:22 a.m. Your girl is tired.
I'm so tired. We both went to sleep really late last night. That was not the intention.
No, girl, although. Um, I have actually, let's start with I stayed up late because I was ordering shit, which we'll get to.
Okay.
It's a me problem. Guys, this week, me and Maggie have been texting, voice noting, sending pictures back and forth of the fact that we just cannot work. Like, I don't know if it's because we're going to the end of the year and like my body's clocking off for Christmas because I've had little annual leave, or like I'm just a lazy bitch. I cannot work. I've been procrastinating next level. And so I've been staying up late to do my work that I should have done during the day, and now we're in a vicious cycle and your girl is exhausted.
No, literally, like we were texting each other, because I had the realization, and I was like, "Rah, I've really been working since 7 a.m. and it's now 7 p.m. because I have like in the early morning meetings. I'm like, and what the fuck do I have to show for it? What do I have to show
Mate.
for it? What have I been doing these 12 hours that I've been sitting here?"
Yeah, I don't. Sure, I'm blaming mine partially to exercising. I think where I haven't had consistent exercise, my mind is not. I've had brain fog.
Yeah, but I'm exercising and I'm still suffering.
So what is it? I don't know.
And it's not my phone because I deleted social media. So what is it?
Maybe you're not stressed enough.
To be fair, I did say to my friend as well. I was like, because I've got deadlines, but I say this, all of my in-person stuff was meant to be done, and
Yeah.
comes to find out it's not. But
Nightmare.
I think after my in-person stuff was done, I was like, okay, I can breathe a little bit, but I can't breathe. I've got deadlines.
Yeah, I think that's it as well. You get rid of something and you're like, oh, just gonna chill out now. And then you look at the to-do list and you're like, crap, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really had it. But guys, on Tuesday, Maggie took me to such a cool event. We went to, is it the Trouble Club?
Yes.
Yeah. So Maggie's part of the Trouble Club, which you can obviously say more about. But she took me to an event about inheritocracy, which is all about like your parents giving you money and how like hardly anyone in the world is self-made. And it
Yeah.
just really hit me. Not that I thought I was self-made, yeah, but like, no, actually, I think I'm quite honest and open. But it really did hit me how much help I've had. Like, I think it's so important to check yourself sometimes.
Yeah, I think 100% because we are both working class.
Mm.
And I mean, the book fundamentally is about the book that this woman has written is about how a lot of people are actually getting by from inheritance and about that privilege. But then she spoke about how that doesn't relate to us because
Yeah.
we don't have an inheritance to
There's
come.
nothing left.
It's nothing left. But we like after the talk, me and Ellie were like, oh wait, we actually have some privileges too. Like we
Yeah.
may not be getting like inheritances or like 100K for a house deposit or whatever, but we are getting a lot of other privileges that some people 100% are not. And we kind of had to check ourselves for that. And like, I don't know, I think sometimes we're very like, oh, we're working class and like and I think because especially in comparison to some other people that we
Yeah.
know, we're like, oh, well, we're really self-made, but actually no, like we also have some sort of help too. But yeah, it was really interesting. Such a good event.
It was so good, guys. I would highly recommend. Like, I think I'm not a massive fan. I'll keep it short, but like I've had this whole thing in my career where I felt pressure to network, then I've networked and I've been like, oh, it's a waste of my time. Like, these people aren't of benefit to me. And I do think like it's important not to waste your time networking with people that aren't necessarily going to give you anything.
Mm,
But just those type of events, I had a day that day, which I'll talk about in a minute, and it took my mind off everything. So
yeah.
like if maybe you've moved to a new city or like you're doing your job and it's December almost, it's grim, it's dark out, like you just want something to take your mind off the day and just listen and just enjoy. Maybe meet a few new people, but no pressure. I would highly recommend to join one of these clubs. Like, I've always joined them directly related to property. I've never thought to like branch out. But that was 10 out of 10. It just took my mind off everything. I loved it.
It's so interesting because like it's a topic that I wouldn't usually talk about, and you've actually
Yeah.
got an expert who's done loads of research in this. And like the week before I went to one which was a neuroscientist, and she was talking about all of her research, and it's just like it's nice to expand your horizon of your knowledge. I think it's really interesting, but it honestly, that event really highlighted how my personality is changing because the event was held in a place where I've been out clubbing before. And I was like, wow, like I was shaking ass over here, and now here I
That
am,
is
like
true.
doing some educational things. Like my focus has changed
During the working week.
during the working week. Yeah. But tell us why your day was such a day.
Guys, so if you listened to last week's episode, it was me telling you about the fact that I'm going for an interview, and I just felt so much anxiety. Like, when I joined my job in May, I've made a lot of mistakes along the way, but my team just, I immediately clicked with them. Like, we just really hit it off. I've had such a good time. They've been so supportive. And I haven't really felt anxious since May. Not compared to how I was before. I've been so chilled. It's been beautiful. Um, and then obviously a recruiter messaged me. She was like, "Look, I have this role. You look like you're the right fit. Are you looking for anything?" And I was like, "No, I'm not looking." She was like, "Well, people who aren't looking are usually the best candidates. So I really think you should go for a coffee." And she just started bigging me up. And I knew, as I said, it was like a chat that she gives to everyone, obviously.
It's not though.
No,
I
it
hate that
definitely
you say
is.
no. It isn't. No, it isn't. Because as I was saying, she might have given that to five other people, but she means it for you. Otherwise, why would she waste everyone's time? It
Yeah,
costs to interview people.
no, I hear that. I hear that. Okay. Right, all right. If you insist. Um, and so I went for the interview. Long story short, but I had so much anxiety in the build up. Obviously, one because I love my team and I just feel like I feel like I'm cheating on them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and then two because everything that I believed about myself, like this time last year, all of the self doubt that I thought I had eradicated. We were talking about like us making small mistakes and them not mattering to us anymore, and like our growth. Everything, I
Hmm.
mean, everything came back. It was like,
Hmm.
whoosh, like I thought I was healed. I talked a lot about my therapy journey last year, guys. Oh no, it was at the beginning of this year. And I literally had 5 sessions and I thought I was cured. There was this one line that she hit me with, yeah, about self values. And she was like, "Why are you so worried about your job? What do you value in life? Like, what do you want to achieve before you die?"
Hmm.
And I was like, "I value my family. I value my," I was about to say friends. "I value Maggie. I value," I, like, I value being loved and giving love.
Yeah.
I think that is the main thing I value in life. And she was like, "So why are you caring so much about your job?" And it
Mm.
was literally like a light bulb moment for me. Everything switched. I changed jobs. Like I took action. I was like, right, I'm not happy. I'm sorting out life.
That's
But
a wow.
it's all come back. And I felt like pure crap. Everything I did, I second guessed.
Hmm.
I like, oh my God, everything I've done since May that I have not worried about is now like it hit me full force. It's like I have a devil on my shoulder. And it's like, yeah, but are you sure about that? Are you sure you did that correct? You girl, you definitely did that wrong. Don't think you're
Yeah.
that good. Relax. Like, can you pipe
Yeah, but
down?
that's that inner voice, and I feel like what you experience there, which I think is actually really translatable across other parts of your life. The example that I'm going to use is they say that like when you go through a breakup and you go through the healing, and then you have a stage where oh, you're healed, like you're not crying about it anymore, you feel fine, and then you fall in love again, and all of the insecurities start coming back. So you're
I've never
never
heard this.
truly, yeah, you're never truly healed until you go through the experience again and it tests you to see, can I actually cope with this? And I think that's what you went through. Like you did the cognitive behavioral therapy of addressing what the issue was and identifying it. And then you weren't being challenged in that part of your life because you moved jobs and you made things better. And
Mm.
so you're like, oh, okay, like I'm fully healed. I'm over this. I don't need the therapy anymore, until you were put in another situation where it's like, wait, all these feelings are coming back. And now you have to like try to think of that therapy and like, wait, what tools do I have to deal with this again? And I think
Yeah.
that's just, it's part of the healing process. Like, you're never fully healed until you go through it again and you think, okay, now that I have the knowledge, what can I do differently this time? But it was just like a test, essentially, of how do you deal with this? And maybe you do need to like work on it a little bit more. You know what the issue is, like, you know the
Yeah.
source, but now maybe it's like about focusing on the triggers and how you can actually deal with it in real time. But I think it's normal what you're experiencing.
Guys, who knew Maggie was such a motivational speaker? That was so eloquent and like so smooth.
I've been listening to a lot of podcasts.
Love it. No, I think you're 110% right. I think I need to ride the wave and just tell myself to pipe the fuck down.
It's difficult though. It is difficult
Yeah.
because it's one thing like doing it in theory, and I think that's what you have. You have the theory, but like doing it in practice is a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah, honestly, I need to sort it out. And do you know what? I'll just tell you a little bit about the interview.
Yes.
It wasn't what, guys, I was so stressed. I woke up at 5:15 a.m. Like, I take an hour to get ready in the morning because, you know, shower, light makeup, do my hair, get dressed. There's like 15 minutes for everything, yeah? Get my bag, get
Hmm.
my coat, etc. OCD, literally. 15 minutes for those four things.
That's mad.
But if I want to look put together, like proper makeup, actually do my hair half decent, it takes more than that time. I woke up at 5:15 because I was so stressed and I was like, I need to look presentable. I need to make sure I'm not wearing some like crappy outfit that I just pulled out the closet and I don't care what I look like because I'm so comfortable at my job. I was revising. I was like, right, I need to be up to date with market trends. I need to do this, this, this. It made me realize, A, I don't read the news enough to do with my job and I need to sort that out.
Hmm.
But B, like, damn, yeah. It made me realize that I need to brush up, basically, and just calm down and not get so stressed. But anyways, long story short, went to the interview. Girl, they spoke more than I did. It's like they were selling it to me. I was thinking, who am I?
Exactly. This is where like you're having some mad imposter syndrome because you're forgetting they reached out to you, not the other way round. They want your expertise. And now the purpose of the meeting was for them to get you on side to want to work with them. But the fact that you didn't think that is your
I know.
imposter syndrome.
Girl, it was absolutely... One thing I will say, yeah, is I do have a little bit of a big head in that I know I have a good personality.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'd say what I have going for me is A, my personality, and B, I am hard working. Like, no one
Hmm.
can ever take that away from me. I make a lot of mistakes, but those two things, yeah, you can't take away from me. And anyway, so I'm in the interview and they're telling me a lot about the role and stuff like that. And then they're like, so just tell us a bit about you, like your background, because my CV is a bit higgledy-piggledy where I've moved a lot in my company. Like, I've not been in a role more than a year
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
over the 3 years of my career. Like, I've had 4 different roles. And so I was talking to them about it. I was like, look, I know this doesn't work for me. I know this doesn't work for me. If your role is like that, then I don't want it, frankly.
Mm.
And then I was like, I'm OCD, I'm extremely pedantic, and I have issues. I need stability. Like, is this role stable? Because it seems like you're working on a lot of different things. Like, I was so open and honest. And then they were like, they showed me their work. And then she was like, so you have experience in other sectors other than student. She was like, tell me a bit about your experience in build to rent, co-living, etc. And
Mm.
I was like, if she asked me, the thing is, because I haven't done it in so long, if I moved into the role and they asked me to do that, I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd have to relearn it. It'll come back, like riding a bike.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to come in and her give me something and be like, right, run that appraisal. So I was like, I'm just going to be honest with you. It's been a while. My experience predominantly relates to X. But if
Hmm.
you want it, I'm happy to pick it up and get better, blah, blah, blah. Like, I just constantly was putting myself down. And then he was like, so in this role, you will need Excel skills. He was like, we're on Excel a lot. Yeah, girl. I said, I don't know if I want the role because they're in the office 5 days a week, but the work seemed fascinating. And like, I would really push myself and it sounded great. I'm not going to lie. And then I was like, I'm just going to stop you there. I was like, I don't have the Excel skills that you're going to require. But I have asked my current firm for training. And if I moved here, that was one of my questions to you. Are you willing to provide me with training? And I think they were just really like impressed with my honesty. Because I literally basically told them I can't do any of the job that they want me to do. That is,
Yeah.
Mickey, I'm not even joking. Everything they asked for, I was like, no, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. And they've invited me back for a second interview, and I'm like, it must be my personality because there's nothing else.
No, but I think like one, I think they appreciate someone who's honest. And
Mm.
quite frankly, Ellie, if you can do every single thing on the job, you shouldn't be going for that. Because what's the point? Like you need to go for somewhere where
Amen.
there's like 2, 3 points that you don't know, because then you're willing to learn. And maybe that's what they liked about you, is that, oh, this girl is actually serious, like she's honest, which is really important. Like she's not
Mm.
coming in like, oh, I can do this and this, because that's more time that's not realistic. And if you can do every part of the job, that job is not for you. It's under you're overqualified for it.
Yes.
um so they probably like the fact that you're willing to learn, and that you have like this full on experience across the board.
Yeah. Yeah, but I just want to tell you about my experience and the fact that I need to sort myself out. You're spitting straight facts today, girl. You're so right. It is true. Like, yeah. Now I'm in this position where I'm just torn. I'll go for my other interview on Thursday and we'll talk next week about like more about whether I think that's for me. Because I am
Yeah.
torn. Like, I think I am really torn about what I value. That's literally, guys, this is what this whole episode is about today. I'm torn
Hmm.
between the fact that do I care about like what weighs heavier for me? Work-life
Hmm.
balance, spending time with family, having free time, finishing at 5:30. Because in all honesty, if I wasn't procrastinating, the role that I have right now would be a role that I could easily build a family in and still be a working woman
Yeah.
and like have an amazing work-life balance. And I could do this role for the rest of my life and earn decent money.
Hmm.
Or so do I value that, the work-life balance, having a good career, like it is a good career, or do I value constantly pushing myself and knowing that I'm always striving to be the best? Like I think I'm always torn between that, the work-life balance, and then pushing myself to be the best that I can possibly be. But in which case, as you have seen, you have constant anxiety and you're
Do you know
stressed.
what? I was listening, apparently, because I'm not on social media now, I have time to listen to podcasts.
I
Um,
love it.
I was listening to a podcast, and to this point, and I think this will help you, that this guy was recommending this exercise where he was like, people always, well, not always, but the people that are like trying to do something and like be proactive and stuff will write down what their goals are. And that's great. But he was like, you need to also write down, what are you willing to sacrifice? Because
Oh wow.
for you, if it's like, okay, if I go down this career route, then maybe I have to delay being a mother by this many years because I won't have the work life balance. Is that a sacrifice that you're willing to make? Like for me right now, um one of the things that I'm having to sacrifice, which is, it's not even that big of a deal, but it is in my everyday, in like the day-to-day scheme of things. But I can't it's gonna sound so privileged. I can't book a holiday.
Girl,
But
I'm sorry.
basically,
In my books, that is not privilege. That is essential.
it's so privileged though. But essentially, my sacrifice at the moment is that I can't book any trips with like my friends, and like anything that my friends ask to like, oh, let's book this in advance, which most like festivals and holidays and stuff you do. I say no to everything because I need to be ready for when work wants to fly me out, and I need to prioritize that. And so I'm willing to sacrifice missing out on social things at the
Can
moment.
I just say, I don't think that's a small sacrifice. I know you like prefaced? Is that whatever the freaking word is? You made it out as if like you're missing out on holidays, but that's not it. Like you're actually sacrificing experiences. You're sacrificing your, like, as the woman termed it on Tuesday, kidulthood. You're sacrificing like
Mm.
time with your friends, time with your family, experiences, spending money, enjoying, all for the bigger picture. Like that's huge. And I think it's so good that you have the motivation and you're so driven. And when it gets to like 5, 10 years down the line, I can already see like the path. I was even thinking about you last night, you know. I was just like,
Oh,
wow, this bitch. She's just flying places. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm so proud of you. And even though To me, those are huge sacrifices, but they're so worth it because I can already see like you're absolutely shining. And I actually sometimes I sit there and I'm like, wow, when I think about myself and us and doing the podcast, I'm like, where will Maggie be in 10 years' time? Like, honestly, I feel like your route is just unimaginable. The things that you've already achieved.
Oh, you're
In
actually making me
summary,
cry. That's so sweet.
no, it's just so. I just love watching you grow. Like, it really excites me. And I think you're going to achieve the most amazing things. And those sacrifices are big. They're not small. It's not just a holiday. It's an experience. Like, it's
Yeah,
living. Do you know what I mean?
I I do appreciate you saying that because it does it like it's like raw like I have to say no to a lot of things
Yeah.
now, but it's also like a such a privilege to be able to say no,
Yeah.
and because it's for something else. So for the exercise, and I haven't actually done the exercise yet, but that was just the first thing that came to mind when he said it. It's like, okay, my goal is X. What am I willing to sacrifice? And something I'm not willing to sacrifice is like not seeing my family
Yeah.
for long periods of time because I don't want to like miss Brian growing up. And I think but then I am willing to sacrifice like these holidays and things like
Yeah.
that. So I think maybe you just need to sit down and do that exercise and see like what are you actually willing to sacrifice, and then you can start making decisions based around that.
I think I need to start listening to more podcasts.
I
Like,
love me a podcast lately. I swear to God.
that is no, but honestly, I think that's such a good point because I think social media and crap like that, and the life that we live at the moment, and the way everything's displayed. Sometimes I do sit there and think I can have it all, but actually, in reality, you cannot have it all. You
You can
can't.
have it all, but not at the same time. Is
Preach.
something I learned from a podcast.
Guys, who is this woman at the other end of the screen? Like,
Fam, I deleted TikTok and all of a sudden I have time. No, but I like, and I think, I don't know, I think for men it's different. I'm not going to lie. I'll be real. I do think for men it's a little bit different. But,
yeah, from
well,
my experiences, I agree.
yeah,
That's fun.
like, being a dad, being a mum, two different things. But I like, even if you're not even being a parent, like if I look at my trajectory, I right now I probably couldn't give my attention to a relationship. I can't have that right now because I mean, if I really wanted to, I could in it. But
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like if I like my energy right now is really on my career, and
Mhm.
the energy that I have left is for my friends and family.
Yeah.
So right now, I feel like I can't have a relationship, or I don't want to. I don't have the desire to. I don't have the desire to put my energy into that. But eventually I will. And so I feel like in over the span of your life, you can say you've had it all, but maybe it just wasn't all at the same time. And maybe you don't want it at the same time because you don't have the energy for that.
110%. Oh, girl, wow.
Who
I've
thought
learned
I'd be
so
spitting
much.
bars today?
So many bars. But guys, on that beautiful note, basically, this just inspired our poll this week because I'm really having a moment. Like, I know
Yeah.
it happens to the best of us, and we all spiral at some point, and I feel like everyone experiences these times where they're just at conflict with themselves.
Mm.
Um, and so I kind of just we wanted to know, like, what do your values align with? Like, what do people value out there? Is everyone
Yeah.
like us? Like, do they value their career? Because I have sisters that are just like, I don't give a shit about my career.
I have friends who don't give a shit about their career. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that's amazing for them. They care about other things. And I love that for them.
Yeah. And actually, I love the fact that everyone's different. And it inspires me to like really think deep and be like, okay, is this definitely what's motivating me? What's driving me? Etc. Etc. Let's get straight into it. So, dun, dun, dun. We asked, what is your self-worth most attached to? For those that aren't aware, Maggie also came in this week with a beautiful definition of self-worth, just so that everyone was clear. And it says to belief in oneself, self-confidence.
Yeah. So what is your self-confidence? What is it that makes you confident? Like what do you attach your confidence to? What do you attach your worth to?
Yeah,
Is the question.
perfect. So we gave some options. We gave career status, because obviously that's a huge thing. Like, that's what this podcast is about. That's what we talk about all the time. Wealth. Is it just the money? Because for some people it's the title.
It is.
For other people it's the money.
It
And for some
is.
people, it's both. And then relationships, or just other. Is there something else? Obviously, we're not trying to narrow it down too far. And the results are in. Before we start,
Yeah.
out of interest, so first of all, I have two questions for you. One, what do you think people said? And two, what do you attach your self worth to? I think I know, but just for.
Do you know what? Like, it, it's difficult because I think on the surface level, no, I don't know because I was kind of like, oh, is it my career? Obviously, because that's what I spend so much time doing. But it is my career, but it's not about when I digged deep, it's not about like the title of like, oh my God, eventually I want to be Meggie the CEO. It's about because of the type of career that I'm in. I really had to dig deep to like my uni days, like that was that long ago. But like it is in the grand scheme of our
Yeah.
lives, that was ages ago. And it's like, why am I like interested in this topic and why did I go into this field? And my I really want to make a difference in this life to in the path that I'm in like the sustainability space and like to people. And I think my self-worth is kind of attached to the impact that I have. But then I'm like, is that kind of toxic? Because that is attached to my career. And should it be attached to like my family? Because that's also like a massive part of my life too. Like, should my self worth be attached to how I'm treating the people around me and how like I'm being treated?
But I think yours definitely is. I would have said yours is like multifaceted for sure. You're so family
Mm.
orientated. Like, yeah, I think relationships is definitely a big thing for you. Like, you value your friends so much. You're always there for your family. Like, when we talk about our goals, one of your major goals is all about your family and how you can provide for them.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah, I'd definitely say yours is a mix. Yeah. And in
What
terms
would
of
you?
impact, yeah, I think that's such an important one. That's what Billy always says his is. He's like, if I die, I want to know that I actually made a mark on someone.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's so
You
sweet.
achieved it, babe. No, I'm joking. Anyways.
What's your one?
um, I honestly, I'm conflicted. I'm at a loss. I don't know if anyone can truly be driven by just one thing or like attach your self worth to one thing. And I
Mm,
actually think that's dangerous because imagine that one thing crumbles and then
mm.
that was another thing I learned from like my therapy that I did my short sessions. She was like, draw a spiral. Do you know those diagrams that you used to do? And we used to do them in food tech, where you'd be like, taste 5, smell 4. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She was like, do that with the different aspects of your life because it's
Oh,
exactly what you said. You can't have it all at one time.
but what other categories?
Whatever you want them to be, whatever matters to you in life.
Oh,
So
okay.
like mine would be my career. How's my career going this week? And she was like, do it so you can track yourself over time. I never did it, but I did it mentally and it did help because it made me deep. Like when I was struggling at work, but this is not what my whole life depends on, Ellie. You have a beautiful family at home, like you have a shelter over your head. Like I'm about to buy my first house, stuff like that. I was like, I have so much to live for and to be happy for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I forgot where I was going with that. Yeah, but anyway, so mine would probably be definitely family. Like,
Yeah, yours 100%. Yeah.
girl, without a shadow of a doubt, literally, I feel like that is what I live for. Like, just it's that feeling of being loved and given love, like receiving and giving love is just beautiful. Two, it would be. I don't know. Do you know? I think career status is somewhat important for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, I am shallow. Like when I meet people, I want to be able to say, yeah, I've achieved this. I work as this. Like I want to be proud of myself for doing my job.
I think that it's like because there's your values,
Mm,
but your self-worth is your what gives you confidence. And I think
yeah.
in different aspects of your life it's different. So like, okay, you feel confident that your family loves you because you spent loads of time with them and it's apparent that they love you and so you feel confident
Good.
in that part of your life. If I look at like relation like um sexual relationships, whatever. Like I feel confident in that, not because of how I look. A bitch has acne, like I'm going through it, but I feel confident
Wait, wait,
because
wait. Guys, if anyone is watching it, my face, I pulled a face as if to say, yes, girl, you sexy. And she was like, a bitch has acne, she's going through it. I thought you were about to pick yourself up.
I'm picking.
That is so funny.
I'm
She
confident
knows
in
she's
that
fine.
aspect of my life, not because of like that, but because of how I carry myself. And I'm confident with like how my self-worth, like I know what I'm worth, like I'm confident in that part.
Yeah.
But work, how confident am I? Because I'm like, if it's not that what this whole podcast is about, is that we're always so insecure. Like, I'm so insecure about my knowledge, like, so insecure. So, what is my self worth tied to at work? Well, it is accolades. Like, it is 100% accolades. It's, do I get a promotion or not? Do I get
Yeah.
opportunities to do this, and this or not? Like, how was my report received? What does the client think about me? And I actually think that I need some therapy when it comes to work stuff because I'm so insecure, and what people think really, really fucking matters to me. Whereas I'm not
Yeah.
like that in the other aspects of my life. But in my career, I'm a completely different person. And I think I need to match Meggie outside of work and Meggie inside of work because the confidence is not traveling. So I think it changes in different aspects of your life, like what your self worth is attached to, for sure.
100%. And that's just so interesting as well. Like what you say, because when you first started your job, when we first started this podcast, it was me crying at the train station
Insane.
about the fact that I had to grow the fuck up. And Maggie was like, girl, where have you been? My head was too big to fit through the door. Like, it's crazy, isn't it?
That quote is going to carry till the rest of my life because hasn't
Best
that
quote.
changed?
Best quote ever, though.
The door is small.
Maggie's
The
been spitting
corridor.
bars since day one.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But yeah, it is really tough. And actually, I think now that you're pushing yourself so far outside of your comfort zone and you're constantly trying to grow and just go places, it has turned around. Whereas in yourself, you're so confident because you've had so many experiences in life where you've been tested and pushed personally that you know who
Yeah.
you are and you know that you'll get through anything. Whereas
So
your
we
career, you're
just
just at the beginning.
Yeah, you're so right. We just need to go through some trials and tribulations. And that's why
Yeah.
you were feeling insecure in that meeting because you've like
I've
though
never
your
done
job is
that.
challenging, you're comfortable with the challenge. Like you know
Yeah.
that your abilities are there. Whereas so you've had these couple of months of peace and this is the first time where you're like, "Oh shit, it's
Yeah.
another trial and tribulation."
Honestly, like I pushed like a trial. But yeah, what do you think everyone thinks their self-worth is attached to? There were four options: career, status, wealth, relationships, other.
I don't know. I feel like it's going to be really split because I feel like there's definitely the career people that follow us. So maybe a lot of that, but then I also wouldn't be surprised if relationships was quite high up there as well.
Yeah, relationships won by a mile. So
Oh.
out of four, relationships was 50%.
Oh,
Yeah,
swear.
yeah.
Mad.
I hear
Okay.
it. I hear it actually. And the more I speak to people, the more I realize like, yeah, relationships are so important. Career status was 10%.
Oh, I was
So
wrong.
less people are obsessed with the promotions like I am.
Like we are. Okay.
And wealth was 20%. And then
Oh,
other was
okay.
20%.
Okay.
Yeah, broadly. Um, so some people did write in and like give a little bit more of an explanation.
Mm.
So someone said the thing that their self-worth is attached to is their paintings, so their art, which I think is
Mm.
really nice to have that creative outlet.
Yeah, we're such not creative babes. Like we really don't get it.
Yeah.
Like we can understand, but we just can't. What is it? Sympathize, not empathize.
I don't know. One of
But
the two.
we can understand, but we can't relate, basically.
Yes.
Mm.
What else have we got, darling?
Someone said, honestly, all of them, but not in equal amounts. And yeah, I think, but that's what we're saying is that actually, I feel like there's the core of like, what's your focus right now, and like,
Yeah.
but then in different aspects, actually, your self worth is attached to different things, and you feel confident in some places and not in others. So I get that.
Yeah, 100%. Something's just come to me that I just have to share with you, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Another thing is not that interesting, but another
Oh.
thing that always conflicts me. So whenever I'm not not doing well at work, but whenever I'm stressing at work, or I feel like that pillar of my life is not as high, yeah, I'm like, but that's not what I care about. I care about my family. Da, da, da. And then there's times where I'm like, no, Ellie, your career is so important. Like, you need to push yourself. You need to work harder. You need to do X, Y, and Z. And then I'm like, but am I playing into capitalism? Do they want me to want to work hard? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That argument's
Yeah.
going on in my head too, and I just had to share that because these people clearly know what's going on. That's why relationships are at the top of their list. But me, I'm a
But
victim.
I do think I'm a victim to capitalism too, but what can I say? I want what I want and I like what I like. Okay.
Yeah.
But can I ask you something? You
Yeah.
said sometimes when you're having these career things and you're like, it's okay because my relationships are calm, whatever. Have you ever have you ever like been in the situation where relationship side of things is fucked and you're like, actually it's fine because my career stuff is going well?
Never. Guys, I'm not going to
Never.
lie. I've just been so lucky in life. Like, I've been with Billy since I was 17.
Yeah, crazy scenes.
Yeah, like, when I look at sisters, obviously, because they're the people I see the most, and like their relationships and how some of them have been unlucky in love, and I'm like, wow, God knows what's going to happen 10 years down the line. Like, he might be like, girl, you're pissing me off, I'm going. But at the moment, at this moment in time, I am so fortunate. Like, I would give my relationships like a 10 out of 10. I'm just like, I appreciate how lucky I am.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of relationship, partner, and family,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I've never questioned those. I've never thought they weren't a 10.
So then that's like that shows that shows like what your core value is like the fact that you've never questioned that because that's something that's stable in your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's tough. It's tough. Um, someone else said, I'm still working this out. Me and you both.
Girl. Fair.
I'm not even sure I knew what self-worth was until Maggie gave me the full breakdown. Like,
No, but the reason that we came up with this as well, like following on from that, is we when we went to the event in person, at the end we were like, well, I don't know why we started talking about it, but we were like, what is our self-worth attached to? And both of us didn't know. Like,
yeah.
we actually didn't know, and we actually had to think about it. So I fully understand
Yeah.
that response.
I hear it.
Someone said, relationships without a doubt, but the world is a tough place. So often wealth ends up being the priority, and my relationships are neglected, even though this doesn't align with my values.
I hear
It's
it
true.
too.
It's true.
Again, another victim of capitalism. Like, this life is hard.
It is hard.
Honestly, so tough. On that note, yeah, the cost of living crisis is really crisising. My sister told me that now TV license is valid for like Netflix, Amazon, Disney Plus, all that crap. Sorry, why and how?
Do I need to get TV license to have Netflix? Is that what you're saying?
But you don't use Netflix, so it's fine. Yeah. She said she got a new letter through. And I'm just like, they are robbing us. Left, right, and centre.
I'm so tired of TV license. Because I cancelled mine and they sent me a letter like, "Are you sure that you don't use these services?" And remember we spoke about this and you were like, "Billy's mum ignores them," so I've been ignoring them as per Billy's mum advice.
Billy's mum, honestly, she's an icon. Like, that woman, if she can get that for free, she will get it for free. And
I love it.
Because this life is hard.
Exactly.
We'll do a couple more, then we'll jump into our favourite part of the episode even. So someone said, wealth, without a shadow of a doubt, money makes the world go round after all. I hear it.
No, I hear it too. On that note, someone said, I think for everyone, having enough money to live and feeling loved is essential. So wealth and relationships.
Yeah, literally. I feel like everyone's on a similar wavelength. Like,
yeah.
I hear it. And then we'll do one more. Someone said, I would say my self-worth is based on my life experiences. How much of the world have I seen? Have I lived? Or am I just surviving? Oh, I like that one to end on. And actually, I feel like that is somewhat you too. Because you've seen so much of the world. Like, I feel like that is part of your identity as well.
100%. And I think what gives me confidence in my day-to-day life outside of work is the fact that like I've really had time to sit with myself and like get to know who I am and what I'm like in different situations. So definitely. And that part of that is from traveling.
Yeah, 100%. And that gives you confidence as well because you're like, no, I'm a cool person. I've seen the
Yeah.
world. I've experienced this. I'm so diverse. Like, I'm so multicultured. Is that the word? Is that the saying? Whatever it is. Do you know what I mean?
Faceted,
Yeah, yeah. Whatever the word is,
multicultural.
like multicultural. Like you've seen the world. Well, as
Yeah.
much of it as you can at this age, and like you have that behind you, and you're like, no, I am like a really interesting person, and that's why you're so happy with yourself and your inner person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
I do think that's really
Agreed.
important. I think experiencing the world, you don't need to travel, not necessarily, but just having life experiences is so essential.
100%. Completely agree.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. That was really interesting. Um, Absolutely loved it. But it wouldn't be our podcast if we didn't jump into our favourite feature of the week. People making mistakes at work to make us feel better about ourselves. So,
Indeed.
in this week's episode of Being a Dumb Bitch, this person said, a colleague joined a company-wide Teams call from her hair appointment, but forgot to turn her camera off. It
Oh,
was pure gold. I'm talking double chin, foils in, and heater on. Heater on. Heater, no.
that's crazy scenes.
That's bad.
That is bad.
That is so embarrassing. And more often than not, if I'm going to a hair appointment, like there's no makeup on.
No,
I'm
there's
not.
no makeup on.
I'm imagining like I don't even know what I'm imagining like. Do you know the big American?
That's probably what they had, yeah. If they had fours in, yeah, to process it faster.
That's so bad. Like,
That is. This is why
guys.
everyone must get the slider for
Oh
your
yeah.
camera. Because if that slider is, I don't care if your camera is accidentally on, the slider is covering the video.
Yeah, Maggie put me onto that, and it comes in handy. When I first got it, if I was on a meeting and I didn't want to join, I'd just be like, "Oh, my camera's not working for some reason; it's gone black."
I do that all the time.
No, but now my laptop has clocked on, and it comes up with a little sign to say there's something covering my camera, or at least
No
I thought that was the sign.
way.
It's like a grey circle with a cross through it, and then a little camera icon.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, are they gonna know that I'm covering my camera?" So I've stopped doing it.
I haven't had
Yeah.
to lie in a while, so maybe that's why I haven't seen it.
The other week I lied. I don't know if I told you. I joined a call with a client, but it was a 2-minute call to double check some information, when it's easier to do it over email than phone. And I thought we were just going to have a quick chat, but he turned his camera on. And it was a Monday. So I had no makeup on, my hair was not done.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm really sorry, my internet's not great, so I'm going to leave my camera off. And then he was like, oh yeah, you are cutting out a bit. And I was like,
Am I?
yeah, I'm so sorry about that. The
It's
one
like
that's
when
clearly
you
on my
lie
side
about
that day.
no, for real. It's like when you lie about being ill and people are like, "Yeah, you do look a bit under the weather, bitch." I'm as healthy as the day. Like,
I
please.
still remember the time I was hungover on the Friday and I answered a call and then I got really ill. And the next week the guy was like, yeah, you didn't sound good that Friday, I must admit.
No,
Oh,
for real.
funny, man. So funny. Well, I feel like we've totally rambled on, but should we do one dilemma and then we'll let everyone get on with their days?
Yes, so it says, "Hey girls, I've heard you mention redundancies a few times now, and sadly I'm one of the unlucky ones who has been let go before Christmas."
Mate, I just feel like that's so disrespectful. They could have paid you for an extra couple months.
You know, that happened to my colleague like, this was like my first year of joining, and it was before Christmas. She sent a company-wide email to everyone saying, like, I can't believe they've done this before Christmas after all that I've given to this company, blah, blah. And I was like, scandal. So maybe
I
this is
hear
what this
it.
person should do.
No, man, don't ask yourself this early. Imagine, do you know what? I'm so conscious of my digital footprint, minus this podcast. But people.
Conscious where? Because if you hear the shit that we're saying.
I'm conscious of emails because that stuff is permanent.
Yeah, it is. It can ruin your
Yeah.
character for real.
Don't be
Anyways,
vicious.
this person said, but in a plot twist, I also have a super supportive manager, and while she couldn't save my job due to an internal restructure, she did make sure that I would get paid a minimum of 2.5 months salary, despite originally being told I would get nothing.
Wow, that's really
Miraculously,
nice.
it's the least they could fucking do.
Yeah, but her manager backed her.
Redundancy
That's no.
package, please.
Yeah, violation. And before Christmas. Wow.
Miraculously, a day after they confirmed I would be paid out, my firm had found a new role for me in a different team. Oh, sorry. The day after they confirmed that I'd be paid out, my firm found another role for me in a different team. However,
Weird.
because they've invented the role, I would be the only person in either of the teams with my skill set and would ultimately report into myself with no one to ask for help or to learn from. For reference, I'm a GIS analyst at the start of her career, and at present I work in a team, but internationally. So it's not like I can call these colleagues up at any hour of the day for help, anyways. I can't decide whether to take the job, in which case I would have security, a steady flow of income, but limited career prospects, or take the money and look for a new job at a firm where I am valued. Please help, I am very torn.
My immediate thought is, why can't you do both? Keep the job so that you're stable before Christmas. Because this time of year, I'm not gonna lie, it's dark outside. It's sad. It's expensive. Really sorry, that just sounded so negative. But for anyone who has the
It
option,
is. It's the truth.
for anyone who has the option to keep their job at this time of year, I probably would. I know they don't value you, and that just sounds like a complete violation. But
Mm.
play them at their own game. Take the job and look for jobs at the same time. What the recruiter said
Mm-hmm.
to me is that people who are not looking are more in demand. So pretend you're not looking. If an email pops in, just be like, yeah, I'm really happy in my role, but I'm willing to have a look. Because apparently they like that. Look at me.
I completely agree. And don't feel bad when you quit 3 months into your new role because
Mm-mm.
look you had to fight for a redundancy package, bitch. These people
Yeah.
do not value you. So, yeah, I 100% agree. Take this new job. You don't have a manager too tough. So it's not like you're being
Yeah.
watched like a hawk. And then go find yourself a new job which pays you better and they value you more. Period.
110%. Yeah. These big companies, yeah, you have to be careful. Look out for you. Look out for number one. And it's good that you've got a manager that stuck up for you. Um, but you're no longer reporting to that manager, so fuck him.
Bye.
Amen.
Play the game or you'll get played
Yeah,
in this
110%.
life.
10%. 10%.
10%.
110%. Guys, on that note, I'm having a fun-filled day. I'm going shopping in IKEA for my new house. What are you up to today, darling? Chilling?
I'm
Restful?
no.
Oh.
I'm going to a screening with my friend.
How
Um
exciting.
yeah, because she does TikTok reviews and stuff like that. So I'm going to a screening with her and then I'm going to my colleague's birthday. And it's one of the colleagues that left, so it'll be nice to see him.
Oh, that sounds like such a nice day. What
I
is the
s-
screening of?
I sound so positive, but I did want to cancel.
This
But I talked myself out of it because I was like, no, go see him.
Guys, we might need to stop this podcast because just Maggie's picking up too many of my habits. What? Who is this woman cancelling plans?
I'm anxious. I'm cancelling plans. I'm staying at home. I'm becoming
It's
you.
contagious.
I'll be buying ass next.
And having babies. No, I'm joking. Sorry. What are you going to watch? I'm intrigued now.
It's called Black Box Diaries. Uh, it's a real life story about abuse. It's quite dark apparently, but there's like going to be like a director there to talk
Wow.
about it after. And I'm really excited to see my friend in action because this is her field, and I just love seeing people do what they're
Yeah.
passionate about.
Oh, that'll be
But
so
yeah,
good. And also, I think it's so important to like talk about these things. Yeah, they're horrible to watch, but it's so important to raise awareness. So
it
I
carries
actually
on
love
if people
movies like
don't
that.
talk about it. So I completely agree as well.
Yeah. Girl, sounds super exciting. Well, everyone, have an amazing week or weekend whenever you're listening to this. Please do continue to send in your dilemmas, the mistakes you've made at work this week, or just any feedback you have to Grown Up. I've forgotten the email, so I'm going to hand over to my co-host.
To grownupspodcast@gmail.com or
or I don't know what's
or
going on.
DM us at Grown Ups Podcast. It's literally the name of the podcast. It's not hard.
Guys, mind blank. When I tell you this week, the brain fog has been real. Yeah. Have a fantastic week, guys.
Bye.